Here's a home phone, and here's a home phone. They're both reliable and provide unlimited local calls, but that's where the similarities end. This one includes more than 18 popular calling features like call waiting, caller ID, three-way calling, and call forwarding. The other one charges extra for those, as much as $34.50 more a month if you add them all up. This one includes voicemail. The other one does not. This one has low long-distance rates, just 15 cents a minute to the US. The other one charges 47 cents a minute for the same thing. So, which one would you choose for your home phone? This one is Rev Voice, and you can get it for as low as $14.99 a month. Rev Voice, the better choice.
Sign up for Rev Voice Home Phone for as low as $14.99 a month. You could win great weekly prizes and be entered to win our grand prize, a brand new Honda CR-V. Call us at 601-8992 or visit us online at cablebahamas.com/RevVoice.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm KRISTINA McNeil. This is MB12 for Wednesday, January 9th, 2013, broadcasting from the Cable 12 studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, former chairman of the National Insurance Board, Gregory speaks out on his firing and the controversy for the first time, and you'll only see it here. The circumstances surrounding the dismissal of a gun case brought up in the House of Assembly, and a case backlog continues to plague the legal system as the new legal year opens. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. Your MB12 starts right now. Thanks for joining us. Save for brief and vague comments in the House of Assembly and a statement posted to his Facebook account prior to him being fired, one of the men at the center of the NIB scandal has been virtually silent on his ordeal. But after having been let go last week, he granted our Paige McCartney his first interview in the Majority Room of the House of Assembly. You'll only see this on MB12.
In his first on-camera interview since this entire NIB matter unfolded and has now ended, former NIB Chairman Greg Moss says he has no regrets and that he has possibly learned the biggest lesson that he could learn about Bahamian politics during his short stint as NIB Chairman. Since November, when the firestorm of controversy erupted at the National Insurance Board, former Chairman Greg Moss has only spoken publicly on the matter twice. The first being last month, when in the House of Assembly, Moss admitted it had been a trying year and insisted that the truth would emerge. And then, at the very start of the year, Moss released a lengthy statement that led to his dismissal. But today, Moss told MB12 that despite his eventual firing, he has no regrets of what has transpired over the past few months.
I've looked long and hard at my service at NIB, and I have no regrets there. And equally, I've looked long and hard at the substance and tenor of my press release, and I have no equivocation there either. I believe firmly in democracy, not just as a process of voting, but as an embodiment of the rule of law. And life is full of choices. You make the choices you do, and hopefully you make them from a position of integrity, and you go on and continue to make your contribution. And so, no, I have no regrets.
The Marco City MP, who is being sued by suspended NIB Director Algernon Cargill, has said that his name has been vilified and dragged through the dirt during this ordeal. He said he knew public life would be tough, but said he was caught off guard by what he called character assassination attempts.
I always expected political life to be difficult, but necessary for the good of the country. But even I've been a little surprised at the level to which people sink in an attempt to misconstrue or mischaracterize what you do in political life. But that doesn't deter me. We have a nation to build, and some of us have to leave a little flesh in the game to do it, and we do it.
Although Moss is no longer chairman of NIB, he's still facing a defamation suit, which alleges that he used his NIB Visa Platinum credit card to book lavish hotel suites with large food and beverage bills. He's also accused of approving risky contracts and authorizing NIB to pay for medical expenses of a Grand Bahama resident. But Moss maintains that he stands behind every decision he has made as NIB chairman.
I have sat at the helm of an organization which took certain causes that to this moment I still support. I have watched dialogue and eventually took a position of clarifying some things which to this moment I still maintain. And decisions have been made which were within the power of those who made them. So I have no issues with those either. And so my fundamental position is, if you believe in national service, you come here for national service, and you maintain the position of doing national service.
Ma said he will continue to serve the Bahamas through his seat in Parliament. He also responded to reports that he intends to leave the Progressive Liberal Party. Ma said that won't be the case and that he still supports the philosophy of the party.
I mean, we all have egos. None of us likes to have his name dragged through the mud. We all have children, we all have reputations, we all have a way in which we would like to be perceived. But that pales in comparison to doing the work of building a country. And the Progressive Liberal Party remains, in my mind, the best suited vehicle for me to make that contribution in doing that.
Just yesterday, Prime Minister Christie and Minister Shane Gibson announced that Anglican priest James Moultrie would be the new person to take the helm as chairman at NIB. That took effect yesterday. For MB12, I'm Paige McCartney.
Newly appointed chairman of the National Insurance Board, Father James Moultrie, says he's taking on his new post with an open mind and with a view to bring healing wherever it is needed. Father Moultrie spoke with our news team today, saying he will not comment on Moss or Cargill, as the controversy was an issue that preceded him and is not on his agenda. Yesterday, Prime Minister Perry Christie announced that the Anglican priest would replace Moss at the board. Moultrie says he has consultations with the Prime Minister about filling the post, but he knew the matter would have to go to Cabinet. He says he will take up the post as NIB chairman, ready to learn the place and preserve the integrity of the system. Moultrie is scheduled to have his first meeting with Minister responsible for NIB, Shane Gibson, on Monday, along with other board members. Well, the House of Assembly had to be suspended for a period of time this morning when things got a little heated after the opposition tried to raise the issue of the controversial decision by then acting Attorney General Jerome FITZGERALD to discontinue a gun case because of what he said was a matter of national security. Speaker of the House, Dr. Kendall Major, did not allow the opposition to ask its questions on the matter. Leader of opposition business in the House, Nico Grant, is alleging that political interference and professional connections were the reasons why the case of George and Janice Hayes was given a nolle prosequi. They were former clients of Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson. When the House was suspended, the opposition held a press conference in the House Minority Room demanding answers from the government. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis says those connected to cabinet ministers should not get special treatment.
We only want justice. We want justice. The same justice that applied to the poor man over the hill should apply to everyone. The same justice should be fairly applied to everyone. Even me as politician should not be excluded. There's a procedure. I think that the AG, knowing that she was dealing with such a case, should recuse herself from such a case. But my concern is this was a case that started on us from 2010. We did not recognize it. It was not national security then. The Attorney General subsequently was in post. It was not national security. FITZGERALD came in post, and in less than a week, he can recognize what we couldn't do in 2 years, what the Attorney General couldn't do since May. In less than a week, he recognized it. That don't sound fishy to you?
But when the House resumed, Prime Minister Perry Christie and Minister of Education Jerome FITZGERALD responded to the claims. They insisted the decision to discontinue the case was not driven by politics and that FITZGERALD acted within his power as acting Attorney General to grant the nolle.
I exercise the power proposed in me by Article 78(1)(c). After reviewing the file and satisfying myself that there was sufficient written advice on the file for the granting of a nolle.
I have complete knowledge, okay, of these nolles being entered, that they are independent of political parties and political leadership. It is peculiar under the Constitution to the office holder, okay, that it has national security, public interest implication, and that the leader of the opposition, under his constitutional appointment, if he really wants to find out and have access to find out.
Majority Rule Day to become a national holiday, and a case backlog continues to plague the legal system as the